Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on SPNG, Sponge Tech Delivery Systems Incorporated. I want to get this one up just because it's a very highly followed chart and stock. So, with the past few days, I want to get some things updated. From the daily chart perspective, not really anything to talk about. So, this video is going to be more aimed towards the shorter time frames, probably the 30-minute and 60-minute intraday looks at time, because as you can see daily, just still in an overall consolidation period where you can see the stocks going sideways there, and just bouncing back and forth like this. So not too much to report on the daily chart, just still consolidation, still going sideways. The one thing to say is the sooner the stock can get above this maroon line here, which is the 20-day simple moving average, the better for everybody. But at the same time, you are still above the 50-day simple moving average, which is good too. And it's also rising, showing that the overall trend is still up. So now let's hop down to the 60-minute chart. I did an annotated chart yesterday that I posted, and what I mainly talked about was the 200 period simple moving average and that needing to hold. As you can see, back on, it looks like the 29th, stock came down, tested it, and then bounced off very nicely. And now, right now, we're just hovering right around there. Close below it, close above it, close above it, or close below it, close above it, and so forth. So right now, just stuck right in it. That's what I like to call supports and resistances kind of webs, because right now you can see that it just the price is stuck in this web right around this support level, which is a good thing because you do want to see this hold as support. Like the daily chart though, we need to keep our eye on this maroon line here, which once again is the 20 period simple moving average. It is currently valued at, we'll just say 12 cents. So the sooner the price can get above 12, the better. And then the other thing to note resistance wise is this purple line here, which is sloping down. This is valued at 12.5 cents. So we have some resistance here between 12, 12.5 that the price will need to get above. And then with any sort of break above there, next resistance isn't up until this kind of double top area. Here the high was 0.138. Here the high was 0.137. So literally these two prices are basically the same, and this will be the key resistance, assuming both resistances 1 and 2 can be broken. So that's what we're looking at on the hourly chart. 1 resistance, 2 resistance, and then our third resistance is up here. Now let's hop down to the 30-minute time frame, and you can kind of see a little bit better picture of things. And the key thing that I want to note is on the 30-minute, the stock literally got into a downtrend, which is not good for the higher time frames, but it has recovered. And what I mean by that is you can see here we had a negative golden cross. So I don't know if you want to call this the brown cross or the nasty color cross, but the 50 periods closed down through the 200 period, and then it just started going down. It got in unison with the 20 period and also the 10 period. So you had the 10, the 20, and the 50 all going down in unison. So for about 4 days, from about there, because as you can see, that's when the 50 period started to slope down, until about right there, that's when the 10 was still going down. So for about 3 days, the stock was actually in a downtrend and wasn't looking too healthy in terms of the shorter time frames. However, since then, you can see that we have the 10 that's turned around, the 20 that's turned around, and although the 50 is still trending down, you can see that it's nowhere as steep as what it was back here. And also, the 10 period, which is that gray line, is actually sloping up, and the 20 period is going sideways. So the stock now on the shorter time frames has moved from being in a downtrend here to now just giving us sideways action. So I know sideways action doesn't produce money, but at the same time it doesn't lose money either. So sometimes there's nothing wrong with just getting some sideways price action. But that's the key thing that I wanted to point out there was things were actually getting a little nasty and hectic for the chart in terms of the short time frame. And remember, everything occurs on short time frames before it happens on the bigger time frame. So Sure, this downtrend here didn't mean that the overall daily chart was in a time or in a downtrend, but everything starts somewhere. So that's why I like to monitor the shorter time frames, because that's where price collapses and so forth can shape up. But that's why I also wanted to point out that that downtrend is now over and the price is in a consolidation period on the shorter term time frame also. So going back to the 60 real quick, just go over our supports and resistances. Our key support right now is the 200 period, which is this orange line. Our three resistance levels are the middle Bollinger Band, or the 20-day, or 20 period, because we're on 60-minute here. 20 period simple moving average. Then we have the 50 period, and then we have this double top area up here as our resistance number 3. So a bounce is going to have quite a bit of work to do, but I've seen lots of stocks when they bounce off their 200 period make nice moves. Case in point being right here, bounced right off it and made a nice move. And the other thing that I want to point out lastly is that off this nice move, what you didn't want to see was the price coming down and then putting in a lower low below that low. But as you can see, made a nice move. Here is the low where it started from, and then look where this low is put in at. So we have one low here, another low there, and obviously this low is higher than that one, gives us the ability to draw an uptrend line. So we are now in a little shorter term uptrend on the 60-minute. So that wraps up the sponge tech chart. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Hope everybody has a good 4th of July and enjoys yourself with family and friends or whoever. Go see some fireworks, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks for listening.